Does the Farm Bureau give any help?
We have the support of the Farm Bureau, but I don't think financially they're very strong right now.
Okay, well,
But,
no one's strong right now. That's a difficulty. And then when you have plants such as these beautiful plants that are being stolen, that's money right out of the farmer's pocket.
Yeah, I mean, the time, this it probably took for 5 years to grow,
Oh my.
and it's ready to sell, and it disappears. It's
So 4 or 5 years to grow, and the cost of planting
All
it
that
and
time.
raising it from either seed or young seedling, and then ready to go to market, and it goes right out. So anyone that buys plants that aren't from a legitimate nursery, they should really be warned in advance to say, don't do that, because
Yeah.
what you're doing is you're putting money into thieves' pockets. So the plants such as this are going to be available at a legitimate nursery or a legitimate garden shop that's one that is, not a back of the truck bed kind of operation.
if the price is too good to be true, it's probably not legitimate.
Say that again, because that's what people should hear.
Yeah, if the price is too good to be true, it's probably
Stolen.
yeah. I said if it's off
Okay.
the back of a truck, and if it's $100 plant and the retail store and the guy is selling it for $25, then
Stolen.
it's
Yeah.
stolen. The problem is proving it.
Right. Well, yes. I mean, that's a real difficult thing about you look at a plant and how you don't have thumbprints on it. How do you identify it? And that becomes very difficult.
Because most of the nurseries that I work with have their own mix. They use so much dirt, so much cinders. So they look at and they know that's their plant, but to prove it.
Okay. So there's really a thumbprint that it does have from the soil mix.
Yeah, but to prove it, you go to court and
Yeah.
you see.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess the idea, I don't know where the stolen goods really end up and where they're fenced, so to speak. But I think that's a really good sort of a measurement. If it's something like, oh wow, what a deal, you're going to be buying most likely stolen goods, and don't do it.
Yeah.
Because that just encourages the thieves to go back and
That's right.
steal more. Is plant theft serious throughout the island of Oahu? I mean, are we finding that in most, like you said, Kunia, they're having trouble?
Kune is more the truck farmers.
Okay.
They've been losing, I think, chemicals and equipment.
Oh my.
I haven't heard about the other areas.
Okay. Okay. Well, you will when you go to this meeting. When we held the meeting in Kailua, it came about because of plant theft at a condominium where they had redone all of their agriculture, and it came about because of that. And it was interesting because then you and Waimanalo learned about it, and we all met at Cinnamon's. And Cinnamon's unfortunately isn't open for dinner anymore, but Puna Nam was wonderful and opened up the restaurant so we could all meet there and discuss what was happening. And we had a good turnout and sort of linked people together, and that was the reason that I introduced House Bill 12, which then, as I say, morphed over into House Bill 1524. But the idea came about not because of a agricultural theft operation, but because actual plants that had been put in by the landscape person had been ripped out of the ground practically right after they were put in. So the condominium ended up having to put in fencing to barricade the thieves away from the plants until the plants took root, and it wouldn't make any sense for them to rip them up. And that's just ridiculous. It's just unacceptable. But it was a wonderful way to meet all of you. I mean, not a wonderful reason that we needed to meet, but a wonderful communication to pull people together.
Yes.
that's what's going to help, isn't it, Clifford?
Yes.
If
And in Waimanalo, it's not only plant thefts. I mean, we've been getting reports of bananas being stolen and corn, and a few years ago, people were losing. They raised birds, parakeets, and stuff, and they've
oh
been
my,
losing.
so that kind of thing as well.
So it still come under egg theft. It's
Sure.
it's
Sure. Well, I'm awfully glad you're going to have that meeting coming up, and it's going to have a broader scope.
Yeah.
And I would hope that whatever information you get back from there, we'd be so glad to work with you to see how we can end this, the thievery. It's just a wrong thing to do. And I guess that, Clifford, what I would say is, I want to say to the public, just loud and clear, that don't buy something that looks like such a bargain that deep within inside you, hey, this has got to be stolen. I mean, it's not worth it, because then that rewards the thief, and it really hurts the farmers, seriously. So I liked your words of wisdom. Well, that's really, I mean, say it again so people can hear.
if it's too good to be true, it's probably not.
Okay, okay, that's very, very good lesson for everyone out there in the public. Well, I hope that, Clifford, that we're going to be able to, by pulling people together and by being the eyes of the community, I hope that we're going to be able to really keep an eye on this and try to prevent this. I know that this, along with your graffiti and other things, it sort of goes in cycles, and if we can get at the beginning of the cycle and stamp it out right at the beginning, it would be better. And if your community needs to go back to the 24-hour patrols, I would imagine that you'd be ready to do that, and I would hope the police would be able to step in and take over a part of that responsibility.
Yeah, I think we have enough members that if need be, we could. But we're 15 years older now.
I know. Well, and people would like to have a night's sleep, thinking that they can sleep safe. But once in a while, we have to fight back and not let the thieves take over. Well, and Clifford, explain again, where do you work?
I work at Contemporary Landscaping. It's a landscape nursery. We don't do any landscaping anymore.
Okay.
We're in Waimanalo, and
but you grow the landscaping for the people.
yes.
You grow the product.
Primarily for landscape contractors.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Primarily wholesale.
And then who again was so kind to lend us these beautiful plants?
This came from Glenn's Flowers and Plants.
Okay.
And the smaller one came from the plant place.
Well, thank you to both of them for sharing these plants. And Clifford, thank you so much for meeting with me today. And to those plant thieves, cut it out. Just cut it out. Aloha, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.